As a parent, you know it's not just baby talk.
Somebody's hungry.
So talk with your baby's doctor about invasive pneumococcal disease, or IPD, and ask how Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine can help protect them. Children under 2 are at increased risk, but Prevnar 20 can help them develop more immunity to 20 strains of bacteria that cause IPD.
Prevnar 20 is approved for children 6 weeks and older to help prevent infections from 20 strains of bacteria that cause invasive pneumococcal disease. Do not get Prevnar 20 if your child has had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Those with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Talk to your healthcare provider before vaccination if your baby was born prematurely. Side effects may include irritability, pain, redness, swelling at the injection site, drowsiness, muscle pain, decreased appetite, headache, and fever. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Ask about Prevnar 20 for your baby. Visit askforprevnar20.com.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And today is October 4th, Friday. Nothing really exciting happened today. I worked. I've been wanting to play this video game all day. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but spending time with the family it's like family first, and then I was watching wrestling. Wrestling was pretty good. I guess there's this like major UFC fighter. He just signed with WWE. I know people are gonna be like, bro, how do you not know who he is? Like, I know of him because I remember seeing his name in the UFC video games, but I just never seen him fight before. Like, I just know that he's somewhat, or even probably more than somewhat, a very popular UFC fighter. But yeah, now here I am recording an episode for my podcast. Oh, actually, no, I did get these pair of Vans that I've been wanting for a while now. It's these, like, they call them the Yacht Club, or like old school Vans and stuff, but yeah, like, it's kind of up there with like the infrared sixes. It was like, but I wouldn't say that it was like at that level. Like, I was excited when I seen them, but I waited a day. And I ended up buying these camo Vans. I honestly wish I had just bought the old school, but I was like, nah, let me see my options first, and then go and then get these shoes. Seen options, ended up buying a pair. I should have just waited. I could have saved some money. It wasn't like these, and the camo Vans wasn't even in my size, and so it was a little loose today. It was a little loose, but I don't know. Maybe one day my feet might be like a 10.5, or they'll grow or something. I don't know. Like, I can fit a 10, but it's a little loose, like with some shoes. And so that's why I'm like, there be shoes where I'm like, I could put my toes like all the way at the top, and then like go down, and then like, or like go and like put my fingers behind my foot, and my fingers it's still like inside the shoe and things. I'm like, bro, I don't know, like, and then I like try to wear a 9.5, and then that feels too tight. I think it was it was some like retro ones, some Jordan retro ones. I tried putting those on, and I think it was either a 9 or a 9.5. Bro, that felt like the tightest. Like, I honestly felt like I knew if I had bought those shoes, my feet would have been in so much pain. So much pain. I'm like, I cannot wear those shoes. And so, yeah, it was a pair of Jordans I really wanted too. It was these like yellow and black Jordans. And I'm like, man, that's messed up, but can't have all the shoes in life. Then there's these other pair of Jordans. There's like the paint like disappears after a while. They don't have those in my size. I'm like, man, what do y'all have in my size? Now I gotta wait like 5-10 years for these shoes to come back out. It's like, it's messed up, man. But anyways, I ain't tripping about it. But no, then talking about this video game, there's this new game that came out called Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And yeah, super long title. I don't know why it's long. But anyways, it's a good game. Like, I sat down and I just like accepted the fact that I played the game already and just accepted what I did. And I'm like, I like it. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good one. So hopefully I play it more. They came out with one called Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I did not play that much of it. I did play like a little bit of it, but I had to say I didn't even reach like the halfway point of that game. I probably reached like right before the halfway point. But then yeah, it was they came out. Tom Clancy, those games though, they're a little difficult. They're a little difficult. So like that's if you're going into this game all like, oh, it's gonna be an easy walk in the park. No, it is not. I played The Division. They kind of are like walk in the parks, but there's so much going on from like upgrading your characters, gear, what else? Like there's just so much going on in that game where it's like you're gonna be sitting down and playing it for a while, and so. But no, it's pretty cool. They got the one dude that played the Shane in The Walking Dead in this video game. Looks just like him too. Like at first I didn't really recognize him, but then as you like sit there and look, like I now know. I now know who this is, and so. Yeah, he's in there. He got like a villain role. I think besides the Punisher, he's had like a bad role in pretty much all his movies and shows and stuff. Like, but the Punisher, yeah, like I mean, he was like out there punishing bad people and things. But other than that, like, yeah, I think because the one movie Fury, I know people are gonna probably bring that up, but I was like, nah, he was kind of a douchebag in that movie when you sit down and watch it. Like, there are some times, like, there is a one scene where the guy was, like, he liked the girl. That was messed up, though, because the girl, I think, like, that whole area blew up, and I think the girl died. And I'm like, that's so messed up. Man finds love, and then ends up, like, watching her explode because the freaking World War II and stuff. I was like, man, that's messed up. I don't think that movie was based on the true story, but... Now I'm like, that stuff like that shouldn't have been added to the movie and things. But that was a good movie, especially the ending. I ain't gonna spoil it for people, but I did spoil that one scene for you. But I mean, yeah, they're talking about Shane and just his role in the movie. That's like the one scene out of that whole like 2-hour movie and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like I try not to spoil movies and TV shows for people. But there was a day, though, I was like, I made a YouTube video. It was funny. It was about The Walking Dead, too. It was when 2 characters in that show, they died. And I made a YouTube video about it and posted it. And my friend, he hadn't seen it yet. And then he was like, I don't know if he, like, seen me at school or if he, like, messaged me on social media. I think he messaged me. And he was all like, bro, you ruined The Walking Dead for me. It's like, I hadn't watched the episode. I'm like, that's when it hit me. I'm like, spoiler alerts and all that stuff because I never really paid attention to that. I was like, oh, I just, like, if there was a time where I was like, I didn't want to see a movie or hear about something, then, I don't know, that stuff didn't really start hitting me until I got older. Like, before, I was like, I remember before somebody told me about a movie or a TV show, I wouldn't care. But as I got older, I think I was like, no, don't tell me. I want to see it for myself. Because, like, the Avengers, that movie, I was like, yeah, that movie. That's why I never sat down and watched that movie, because I already knew what happened. And then you got YouTube videos, people out there, they spoil it. Pretty much that's like my payback, because there's YouTube videos and people out there, they'll post that stuff. And I'm like, bro, I haven't even watched this yet. Like, why are you posting? Like, can you not wait until tomorrow? Like, I'm like, I try to be on time about my shows and all, but I'm like, dang, you couldn't have waited? Like, come on now, like, just wait on this for a second. But, yeah, there's people out there, they don't care. They don't care at all. I'm like, dang, like, all right, well, I guess payback for what I did, but, I mean, this doesn't happen, like, multiple times. Like, I know I ain't spoiled that many TV shows and movies for people and things, like, sitting down trying to think about it. I know my mom, I remember she said not to spoil the Tupac movie for her. And I'm like, I don't think it works like that. I'm like, not like with a based on a true story movie. I'm like, yeah, somebody was like, if there is like, yeah, because I'm like, I don't see how I can really spoil that movie. Like, we all know what happened to Tupac. Like, that's something that's like, it wasn't like it was a fictional story and things. Like, you would think it is when you watch the movie, but like a fictional hood story, but no, like this is this is real. Like all this stuff actually happened. Like I don't know how you can really spoil a based on a true story movie. Like it's like I couldn't do that. Like if it's a movie where I know it's based on a true story, then I'm like, oh okay, well this actually happened. If it was like, if I didn't know about the person, then that's one thing. But everybody knows Tupac. Like, if you don't, I can understand if you don't know Tupac. So if you don't know him, then I'm like, oh yeah, you would like the movie. It's just talking about his whole life from when he was a kid up until I'm pretty sure everybody knows like Tupac's no longer alive and stuff. So yeah, if I was like talking to somebody and then I was just like, oh yeah, it's like it's all the way from when he was a kid all the way up until the day he got killed. And then they was like, why would you say that? I didn't know he died. I'm like, I mean, the man hasn't released music since, the 90s, I think. Well, I mean, they did come out with some, like, old songs that he recorded back then, but there's, like, years later and stuff. But, yeah, I'm like, come on now. I'm actually, I think, because they have done that numerous times where they have made movies about, people already, but I know because they did a few on him already. But Michael Jackson, I would like to see they should have it where it's about Michael Jackson, but his kids are behind it, like kids' point of view, and then get or just like the family's point of view of what they seen from Michael. Because I'm like I don't know, because I remember they came out with a couple. I remember the Jackson's 5 movie, and then I remember they came out with the Michael Jackson movie, but the guy, he wasn't even really looking like Michael Jackson. Like, I was like, why, out of all people, they got this guy? Like, and then the thing is, though, there ain't too many people that look like Michael Jackson. You can't have a white guy play as Michael Jackson, because we all know Michael Jackson is actually black. But, then it's like, a person just doesn't look right when their skin is, like, painted the shade of Michael Jackson's. Like, it doesn't really look right and stuff, so I don't know, like, I guess it'll be kind of hard for him, but, what other musicians? I know they did the James Brown movie. That was pretty good. That was a really good, biopic. But I don't know too many other, then the Biggie Smalls movie, I could see them probably doing one on Beyonce. Definitely they'll do one on her. Who else? Who are the other artists out there? I feel like the one artist that I would like to see them do a movie on is XXXTentacion. I know people are going to have their things to say about him. I wouldn't want to see him and making movies about him and stuff because of his past and the crimes that he did or that he was accused of. I don't know. They threw away the case. After he died, but there was both parties. Both him and the girl said that he never did hit her. I know everybody's like, because I was talking about that with a friend of mine, and there's you gotta think about it though, because with that story, with the XXXTentacion story, and everything that people have said about him, because I know that this is something I don't really like to talk on, because I know there's gonna be somebody out there that gonna be mad at what I say, or they're not going to really listen to what I have to say. But I'm thinking along the lines, because from what I heard, my friend, she lives down south. So she was telling me Southern people are like that. That's how they are. XXXTentacion and his girlfriend, they're abusive towards each other. And I don't know, I see that and I'm just it doesn't really surprise me and things. Because I'm it's, you see and hear about it all the time. So I'm it ain't really surprised me when it was this story got out. I was dang, he did that. But it's you hear about stuff like that all the time. You hear about that type of stuff all the time. So I'm it's this is, it ain't normal. But it seems it's just a part of life in a way. It shouldn't be a part of life. You shouldn't be abusing your significant other. But it didn't happen so many times. It's gonna got to the point where I'm oh, well, all right, well, it happens. It happens and all. There's even the one movie. What's Love Got to Do with it? It was the Tina Turner and Joe. Was it Tina Turner his name wasn't Ike Turner. Joe, I'm sitting here trying to I don't know why I was good, but also I think they talked about it too, the Jackson's 5 and how Joe Jackson was abusing his kids and stuff. But I'm blending in names and things that's wow. All right, well, I'm an idiot. So anyways, no, but Ike Turner and Tina Turner, and they were talking about their relationship, and then they also showed at the end of that movie she left dude. Like, she moved on. That girl's still performing till this day. So I'm like, kudos to her. Like, kudos to her and things. But, yeah, I'm like, it's like they went their separate ways. I think, well, I mean, yeah, X is no longer here with us. But before he passed, like, he was living a good life. From what I seen on the girl that he was dating that got him, like, all caught up with these cases and all, it looked like she's living a good life. So that's why I'm like, you know, like, if they're okay and they're living a good life, and plus she also, like, paid tribute and then, like, dropped off some stuff at his memorial thing. And so, yeah, I'm like, well, she obviously was, like, you know, her heart was in a good place. Like, she wasn't, like, holding any grudges and things. And so that's why I'm like, that's why I didn't, like, I don't know, like, people when they did talk about that and things, like, oh, how he abused her and stuff. She came out and said that, like, he didn't do anything. And then he also was, like, recorded on some, like, I think it was like one of those like police phones or something like that. It was like one of those like jail calls, but he said like he mentally got to her, but he never like physically like hit her and things. And so yeah, mentally abusing the person, that's like I don't know, like it's up there, but I would rather have like some physical pain than mental pain. That's just me. Maybe other people are different, but I feel like mentally stuff can get to you. And then that stuff is like in your head for the rest of your life. But yeah, if I'm dating a girl and then she like slaps me across the head or something, then I'm like, that's alright. Like, I mean, I'm like, honestly, I just like, next time she does that, like, I'll just headbutt her hand. I'm like, hey, technically you hit me, but I just blocked it with my head. Like, yeah, just like block a hit. Like, unless she's like trying to like draw blood from my body, then that's when I'll drop kick her. But yeah, I'm like, physical pain, I feel like that it's, I don't know, just it's stuff that I shouldn't really talk about, but that's just how I feel. Like, I'd rather deal with physical pain than mental pain, because I'm like, physical pain, that's just only gonna be there for a moment. Mental pain, like, a moment in your head can be a while. So that's why I'm like, that's like, both pains though, like, shouldn't be caused in a relationship. Like, if y'all can like sit down, chill, do whatever y'all doing and things, I don't care what y'all doing, like, there's, you guys can like just be, I don't know, freaking having an eye staring contest or something. But it's like, as long as y'all cool with each other, and you know, if stuff ends, it ends on good terms, then you know, cool. Like, y'all can, like, see each other, like, years from now, and then just about, like, oh, hey, like, you know, there's my ex, like, we cool and all, but, because I don't know, like, I've heard stories and things, and just people, they tell me about, like, their exes, and then just, like, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, dang, like, y'all are just, I don't know. I would say that I don't know. Like one of my exes, I do follow. We follow each other on social media, but that was like years ago though. But I think I don't know. Like, I don't know if we're on good terms or not. I mean, we follow each other on social media, so I would say that yeah, that's good terms. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We don't really like each other. We just follow each other. That's some weird stuff, man. Like, I gotta ask her about that. I'm like, why do we follow each other and we don't even be liking each? No, I ain't even gonna bring that up because I don't know. That might stir up some drama and that might lead in. I don't know. Like, but we didn't leave on like bad terms though. So that's why I'm like, it just ended. Dang, man. Well, it was like a long distance thing. I'm like freaking 13 years old, no car, no license, no nothing. Over there, I'm like, and no money at that, so I don't care. There's not even a way for me to go visit this girl and things, and so I was like, yeah, that's why I ended it, because I'm like, you know, it's like, it's a long distance thing, and I wasn't really, like, me, I was like, wanting to, like, date somebody I can actually see every day, so, yeah, I should apologize for that. I'm like, now I can, and things, like, now I got the tools to go see whoever I want to see and things, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, I should apologize to her. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry for when I was 13, 14. Yeah, I think I was 13. Was I 13 at the time? I think I was, because that's when I created social media accounts and stuff. So yeah, I was like 13 at the time. I should apologize and be all like, hey, I apologize for just randomly breaking up with you when we were like there. But she was cool with it, because she was just all like, yeah, we like there, because she even said like, yeah, there's no way of us seeing each other and things, and so Like, how did we even, like, I think we were just talking, and then we were just all like, hey, because I remember, like, when we were in elementary, we really did like each other, and she was just, I think she was just like, we should just date, and I'm like, yeah, we should, and then that's how that all started. Dang, I wish stuff was like that, was easy like that, though. Nowadays, you gotta, like, have somebody swipe right on you, and then you guys gotta, like the same things. If there's like one thing that's off, like you like the NBA, she likes the NFL, then it's like a swipe left. Like if I don't know, just some old dumb stuff. But it's like it's just I feel like back then, like it was just like stuff was just easier, man. Like relationships was like probably easier to get into because I don't know. I feel like nowadays like everybody's just so scared to meet up with a person. Like they gotta like talk with them on the internet first. Like me, I'm like nah, like. Okay, like, we can start off that way, like, talking on the internet and everything, but afterwards, like, I'm like, no, we gotta, like, hang out. We gotta, like, go do something. Go get something to eat. Go watch a movie. Like, I don't know, because that's how I was, like, that's, like, the world that I was seeing when I was growing up, so that's the world that I'm still trying to live in. Like, this whole swiping, like, because, no, there was one of my friends, he tried to, like, he told me about some, dating apps and things. He told me about Bumble. And I didn't know how to use Bumble because I was like, I think because Bumble got like 3 different things you can go on. They got like a business thing, like a best friend thing, and then a dating thing. And I remember I was on the best friend thing, and I kept seeing dudes, and I'm like, bro, there ain't nothing but dudes on here. And I changed the settings to women. So what is the problem? Like, I don't want this app and there ain't nothing but dudes on here and stuff. And so I was like, nah, I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, this is an app. This app ain't for me. I don't know how you did it. But yeah, he did it, and it was it was cool with him. Like it was funny though because he had he met one girl off of there, and I think she was like a Colin Kaepernick hater, and I was like, oh, that's bro. Like, I guarantee, like, if you please, I told him, I was like, no, bro, please go on the second date with her and I'll bring me a date. And I just want to, like, bring up Colin Kaepernick every chance I can get to and things. Like, start, like, slowly work my way into it. Like, talk about how long I've been black. And then just, like, speaking of being black, Colin Kaepernick, like, just say some old dumb stuff. But, nah, I think it was, like, because he's not like that. Like, he's not not Colin Kaepernick hater, so it's yeah, that just couldn't have worked out. Plus, the shit came around me. I've been going on Amazon. I've been going on eBay. I've been trying to find like a Colin Kaepernick jersey, and every time when if we did cross paths, like I'm just taking off any any overshirt that I have and make sure my undershirt is that Colin Kaepernick jersey and stuff, but. Anyways, but no, it was like then he found this his current girlfriend. I think they met on like one of those dating apps, and they cool. Like they like man, I'm like, why is this so easy for him and then me? I go on there, I'm sitting there like them broke my finger swiping right and things. I'm like man, and it's like then you match because this is why I stopped with those dating apps. This is exactly why, because I would find a match. They'll notify me and they be all like, hey, you got some matches. And so I'm like, cool. Like, this is it. Like, I'm about to straight up find, like, the love of my life. I'm about to just, like, no, we about to, like, just be kicking it. They're talking about you got paid $10 to see who it is. What do I look like? I'm not, and it's like, this money ain't going, like, to a date or anything. See, if there is an app where it was like that, you pay, but then the money goes to some like card or something, and you use that money on your date. So like if I am paying $10 to see who this girl is, I expect that $10 to be saved up, and then we get to use that on our date, because I don't want to spend $10 and then end up meeting this girl, and then she watches my YouTube videos and now she's a hater. I can't date one of my haters. That just wouldn't even seem right. That wouldn't seem right at all. And so I'm like, no, like me, I'm like, I don't know. When it comes to like stuff like that, I'm like Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris. I get very, very cheap. I'm like, why am I paying them? Like, what if this relationship doesn't even work out? What if she's a murderer? And she's just out here luring people on Bumble and Tinder? Next thing you know, I've been brought out in the middle of the woods hanging upside down from a tree, talking about you shouldn't have been talking all that crap on YouTube. And I'm like, well, this is it. Like, can I at least, like, call everybody and tell them, like, hey, a hater finally got to me and things, and this is it. Like, I didn't realize I was going to go out like this, but I guess I am. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys a little later. Like, but currently right now I'm hanging upside down from a tree. Like, I wouldn't be able to give out that phone call. Because I'm like, I'm over here spending $10 to meet my murderer. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. So that's why I'm like, no, like if I am, I want to do it for free. Like that's my thing. Like I overall don't want to meet a hater or a crazy woman and things on Tinder or Bumble. But if it did come down to it, like I expect it to be free. So then I'm like, well, I didn't have to pay any money to meet her and stuff. So guess I'll go out, but I still got $10 in my pocket and things. But yeah, I'm like, that stuff's just stupid. Like, I shouldn't have to, I don't know. I mean, you should, like, that's why I'm like, if I am going to pay for love or, you know, that sounded so weird. No, let me retrace my, like, go back to what I'm trying to say. If I am going to find out who my love is and I'm putting money towards this relationship, I expect it to be some gifts for her or something. Like, but not to just meet her and things. Like, no, I'm like, that's, nah. Can't do it. So that's why I'm like, I stopped fooling around with those apps. And I'm like, overall, like, I'm like, I just want to, like, if we just, like, cross paths, like just downtown somewhere, or I don't know, like, it could be anywhere. But if we just cross paths, and I'm like, and we just talking, and we cool with each other and things, then cool. But, or, like, something, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to pay for it. I'm like, that don't even sound right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, going back to what I was originally going to say, I'm out here paying for women. Think about it. And I'm like, that's some freaking, it ain't prostitution, but it's something. It's like a clean version of prostitution. There probably ain't even a clean version of prostitution, but that's what that is. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm like, nah, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Not at all. Ain't nobody gonna make me do it. So that's what I'm like. I can't pay for relationships on what are these apps called again? Bumble and Tinder. That's what I'm like, man. Like, cause Facebook just recently came out with one, but I'm like seeing people that's like mutual friend, like people I never even really seen before, and they live out in the freaking middle of nowhere in Washington State. I'm like, I don't even know where these places are at. Like, I just found out that Aberdeen, Washington exists a few years ago because a WWE wrestler is from Aberdeen, Washington. But all these other different places, look, if it ain't in Seattle or in Federal Way, I don't know where these places are at. So people and I'm like, and still, I'll still get lost in Federal Way. I'll still get lost in Seattle. So that's why I'm like, bro, like, people, y'all should see me when, like, somebody comes up to me, when a tourist comes up to me and they ask me for directions. Because most of the time they can't even speak English. So they just point at the map and then point off up in the sky. And I'm like, and then they'll say some, like, random name. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're going to want to go straight down this road, cut a left. You're going to see this big, tall, orange building, and then you're going to want to go around that building, not fully around, but just on the other side, and then go right down that street, and then, yeah, there's your place. That's how I give out directions. I tell people, like, I guide them like a GPS. Like in 700 yards, you're going to want to make a left. Then 700 yards from that left, you're going to want to make a right, and then keep going, and then there you go. But yeah, I'm like, overall, I don't know streets, I don't know roads, so I'm like, I get lost too easily, man. I get lost way too easily. I remember y'all should have seen me when I was going out to my job, not current job. I had to use a GPS like the first few weeks I started working there. And then eventually I like got it down, and it was like realizing where I was at and things. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, then the funny part is like to where I was catching my bus. So there's this Target like right on like right where Pacific Place, or not Pacific Place, but Pike Place Market Talking about downtown Seattle for those that didn't know. But there's this Target like right down the street from Pike Place Market. I was walking all the way to that bus stop, and my bus stop was just pretty much right down the street from my job. Right down the street. So I'm going all out my way, walking. I mean, it was good exercise. Like now, like walking and running to me is just like I can do it, like no problem and things. Like man, I be sitting there, I be running too. Like y'all should see me. Like I see a bus or then that crosswalk light, it started counting down. I'm like, man, I be gone. I straight up be gone. Like even today, I was sitting there running to cross the street, get to the van store, because I wanted to make sure they had these vans in my size. Like I was running all across the street. There was the one day that I'll never forget that bus driver, he was just like he had to tell me that I was fast, but I'm at the bus stop, or I'm walking to the bus stop, see my bus there, and that's the dumb thing that I was doing. I was walking past multiple bus stops to just get to one bus stop. Like I walked past one bus stop, and unless I seen my bus there, that would be the only time I would catch the bus on that part of the sidewalk. So I'm walking past that bus stop, but no, there is the one day where I seen the bus there, and so he pulls off. He's in the middle of the road, so I'm like I wasn't like waving him down, but I was on the side of the bus and I was on the crosswalk like waving at him and things. And I went and said it, like I didn't like screaming out loud, but I just said it for him to like understand me. I said, meet me at next bus stop. And he like shrugged his shoulders and he was like, I don't know. Soon as that light went green and as soon as that the crosswalk went for me to walk, I was gone. Forget walking, I was running. I ran all the way from that bus stop all the way to the Target bus stop and beat the bus there. There was like some little traffic and things, but yeah, I beat the bus there. Managed to stand there, catch my breath. That's why I was like, for the longest, I know if anybody that works with me, you probably seen me for a while. I was getting water bottles and putting them in my backpack. I was for the longest doing that because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to have to run for the bus. And so I'm like, let me just go store me a couple of water bottles before, because I'm like, no, I get on this bus and I'd get tired. That's why I'm like, man, I honestly, I should start doing that because I'm like, you never know one of these days. But no, I'm like, I now know when my bus comes. I started catching the day. I actually know. I walk to that Target bus stop still. I still do. I still walk to that Target bus stop. I still catch the bus there. And I catch like a different bus though, because I'm like, nah, this bus, the other bus be too crowded. I do not like crowded buses. I seriously don't, man. Crowded buses to me is just like, it's too much going on. Way too much stuff going on. It be people just be sitting all close to you and things. This is what I don't like about buses. And I'm like, everybody should just listen to me for this part of the podcast. I don't care if you wasn't even listening to me beforehand, but listen to me for this. On buses, okay, each of them 2 seats, it should be a man and a woman. As it goes, and if you're a larger person, okay, no disrespect to you, because I'm like, everybody's beautiful in their own way. But if you're a larger person, please give the smaller person some room. Now I know, and there's seats where you can sit at, but I don't know why. The biggest, like Mark Henry, like there be Mark Henry sized dudes sitting next to me, squeezing me all against the window. That's why if you ever see me on any bus and there's a big dude or whoever sitting next to me, I'm all against the window. Just uncomfortable. And I know people are going to be like, well, think about how they feel. How they feel, they got all the room in the world right now. Me, I'm the one that's looking like spray paint on the wall. Like, no, I'm like, I know people are going to probably be getting on me about that. They're like, you shouldn't be talking about like people of weight and things. But I'm like, nah, man. I'm saying like, no, that don't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm like, you should not be sitting that close to a person. I'm like, yeah, I know the seats, they might be a little bit smaller for a person, but that's when they need to sit in one of them side seats. Do something. But I'm saying, or like try to find an emptier seat. Take up 2 seats for themselves, because I'm like, I wouldn't mind if I was walking onto a bus and I seen like a person of weight, like, you know, like a larger person, if they were sitting and they was like taking up 2 seats, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. As long as they comfortable, that's cool. But if I was sitting in one of those seats and they were sitting in my seat and in their seat, that's when there's a problem. And I don't feel comfortable that way. There was a time I remember my whole my whole right hip, it was just numb from just like positioning itself in it's like in a way where I'm like, I cannot move. I cannot. It was I think it was either my right or my left hip, but one of them was numb. And I was like sitting there having to like stretch my leg out, and I'm like, why do you guys? That's why I'm like, when a woman sit next to me, I don't care, like, and I know people are like, oh, that's weird. You just only want women to sit next to you. Because, see, here's the thing, though. Me, I give women enough space. Like, me, I sit with my legs going the other way, because the way I sleep, when I'm on the bus, I'll be asleep, but I'll position my body away from that woman. So I know people are going to be all like, oh, probably do acting weird. He just only want to sit next to women and things. Because, no, see, here's the thing. If a woman, like, if she brushes up against me, I'll just look and just be like, oh, okay. But if a man is brushing up against me, okay, a man brushing up against me, another man, that doesn't even sound right when you say it. Like, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want a man's leg to be touching me. I don't want a man's arm to be touching me. I don't want that whole man's body to be touching me, okay? But just hear me out. If it's a woman, I don't know why, but I feel more safer if it's a woman. Because if it's a man, you don't know what this man's trying to do, okay? You don't know. He figures, all right, nope, I ain't looking. I'm going to grab on the TMossBoss's leg. I'm going to just grab onto it. I don't know what I'm going to do with his leg, but I'm going to grab onto it, all right? But if it's a woman, I'm going to probably just look at her like she's weird, because I don't know, like, I just, like I said, I just feel much more safer if it's a woman sitting next to me on the bus, especially an older woman, like maybe like 50 and over. Because there was the one time I know that girl, she could probably possibly been around my age. Like, I don't know. Like, no disrespect to the younger girls on the bus, because they're like older women, they probably think like I'm gonna try to grab their purse or something. So they they give me some space. But they'll sell away over there. But a younger girl, I don't know why. I just feel like that sometimes they just don't know how to act when they get on the bus. They don't. That's why I'm like, it's sometimes like they might be all right. Like, I feel like lately, like any younger girl that has sat next to me on the bus, like, okay, like, you know, they chill, they doing their thing. I'm going to be asleep on the window, making sure not one part of my body touches them. All right. But I'll be asleep. There's the one time though, I was like, dang, like, I don't even know how to really react, because like, I don't want to like go off on her. And then, she's already feeling bad for what she did. But no, there was a day, because so this was, I don't even think I've ever told this story before. But anyways, I'm on the bus. I'm asleep. It's dark, like, outside on the bus. Because, no, the bus that I was catching, it's like these, like, big, they're kind of like these, like, Greyhound buses, but they're just only buses that be traveling back and forth to the cities and things. And so, I was on a bus like that. And I'm sitting asleep, but I really had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, and I remember like right before I had crashed and went to sleep, I remember like, I was like, dang, my bladder is on full. I'm like, I just hope that I make it to my house on time so I can use the bathroom. Because if not, I'll pee in the woods. I seriously would. I think I've done that before. I think there was, where was it? I think when they were doing construction in my area, I just ran behind this like house where they were doing construction at, and I peed. I was like, bro, I had to go. I know people gonna be all like, you shouldn't do that, but I'm like, no, if I had to go, I had to go. I know I ain't gonna be able to make it to my house. If by the time I open up that door, my bladder is gone. Okay, so I'm like, okay, pee in the woods, and then not smelling like pee and not peeing on myself, or try to like make that trip all the way to my house and end up peeing on myself. I'm not taking that chance, nope. But anyways, yeah, I'm on the bus, my bladder is on full. I didn't see that this girl had sat next to me and things, and so anyways, she decided that it's drinking time on the bus. And she opened up like one of those like little box things of wine. She's drinking on it, and then she went to sleep. And so she started spilling it, and it was wasting like in the seats, on my leg. So I was smelling like alcohol, and I know people was probably all like, dang, this man couldn't have waited. He out here getting drunk on the bus and things. And so I was like, yeah, she wasted it all on me, but I was asleep. And I didn't realize it until I had started moving around. And I was like, and then at that, I don't know why, but it was like, I ain't really had to pee anymore at that time, but my leg was wet. And so I'm like, oh my God, I peed on myself on this bus. Oh my God, no. Please no. Please, please no. This did not happen. I'm like, I'm going to have to let everybody else get off the bus. I'm going to have to be the last one off the bus. I'm just going to sit here and I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move. And I'm just, as soon as I get off the bus, I'm going to just run as fast as I could down the street. Gone. My house might have been far away, but I'm making sure I am nowhere near people. Okay, as soon as that last person gets off the bus, all right, I'm booking it, gone. They're going to honestly think something is wrong with me, because I'm like, I will not show my face. I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably have to change my appearance. Like the way my hair is, I'll probably have to cut my hair off. Maybe change up my glasses, grow my beard out. I had to do something. But I'm like, I cannot show my face. I like the people, they can't know that it's me anymore. I'm probably going to have to cover up my face, do something. But anyways, by the grace of God, thank you, God, for this one girl on the bus. I was like, man, I'm actually happy that it was like she was just spilling wine on my leg, because if it had been me, then I'd be like, well, I'm embarrassed. But I was just like, but after I started smelling it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't drink no alcohol. What's this? And so then I looked and then seen the box. I'm like, it is wine. I'm like, lady, you don't know how much you just made me happy right now. Like, I don't have to hide my face. Like, I don't have to have like people be all like, oh, that's the man that peed on himself on the bus. Like, no, they're gonna just be all like, that's the man that smelled like alcohol. All right, everybody drinks alcohol, but do people go out in public and pee on themselves? No, they do not. So that's why I'm like, cool, thank you. Okay, no, she was like, cause she was embarrassed by it. She was just all like, oh my God, I'm sorry, like I fell asleep and I didn't realize. I'm like, you don't even sweat it. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. I'm just happy at the fact that it wasn't me. Okay. Don't worry about this. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be okay. And so yeah, I went home. I was like, and then it was funny, my mom, because she was like, I told her about anything, and she was over it. She was just like, she had been mad, but I'm like, I got home and I used the bathroom, and that's why, like, before I leave work, if like probably any of my employees, they might know it, that I was like, I go to the restroom before I leave now. I'm like, I go to the restroom quite a few times, make sure I get everything out my system. I make sure everything is out, and I'm like, and I don't get on this bus, and I'm like, because no, it'll hit me when I'm on the freeway. Like, for those of people that don't know, I live outside of the city of Seattle, so I had to go on the freeway to get back to my location, my destination and things. And yeah, I'm like, man, I'll be like halfway, I'll wake up like halfway, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I gotta go. I had to go. Like, I don't know why. I'm like, I can't just sleep on the bus. There's always like, there's probably a person sitting there tapping on my arm, keep waking me up. There's this old dude. I'm like, I gave that old dude like some dirty looks a couple of days. I'm like, you lucky you old. Because I'm like, if you probably had an attitude about what you were doing, I probably had snapped on you. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, you disturbing me in my sleep, but I'll be asleep. This man keeps like leaning and like knocking into my arm and things. I'm like, bro, fall asleep the other way. Like, sit sideways and lean your body against the back seat of the bus seat and things. But stop falling into me. Like, or sit somewhere else, man. But I'm like, why? You know you're going to do this. Why won't you not, like, sit somewhere else? Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, because, no, the way he falls, I'm like, bro, he'll fall like that sitting in any seat. So I'm like, sit on the left side of the bus facing the other direction. But don't sit on, like, the left side of the bus, like, facing the front of the bus. Like, no, face, like, sideways on some one of them sideways seats, but on the left side of the bus. Because I'm like, he always falls like, he always like falls the same way. So I'm like, no, bro, just sit sideways, lean your head back, and just sleep. Because you overall going to do that in things. And so, yeah, that dude, he kept doing that. What else? Yeah, then I remember there was a time this lady, she brought a crying baby on the bus. And I was like, I can't even be mad at her for that. I'm like, that's on the baby and things. And so, what else has happened on the bus? Yeah, I remember it was me and this girl. We were looking at each other cracking up. I honestly wish I knew who that girl was, or I met up with her and we just talked about that and things. But no, there was this lady, she got on the bus, she started screaming because this guy wanted to, she couldn't find her orca card. And so the guy was all like, oh, I'll pay for you. She snaps and goes off. And she's like, I don't need nobody to pay for me. She's screaming all the way from one side from the front of the bus all the way to the back of the bus. I'm like, lady. And me and this one girl, we were cracking up. I'm like, if the lady sees me laughing, I really don't care. Because I'm like, I needed this laugh. Everybody needs a good laugh in their life. Everybody needs a good laugh in their life. That's why, anybody around me, I try to make sure that they laugh as much as they can, because I'm like, no, everybody needs a good laugh. That's why, that's one goal with me that I want to see from everybody around me. I want to see them, at their, weakest point, but from laughter. I want to see tears. I want to hear, your worst laugh. That's why everybody around me, that's why everybody around me, they always be saying, I'm the funny one out of the whole group, because I'm like, no, I want to see the worst from you when you're laughing. So I'm like, if you snort, if you make a weird noise, if you cry, I'm like, no, because I'm like, I experienced a laugh like that one time, and it was the best and worst feeling in the world. I was actually crying. That laugh almost took me out. Cause I was laughing so hard. I might have laughed like this twice in my life. I think there was twice in my life where I think I laughed that hard. And I know there's a YouTube video I remember I uploading. For those that want to watch it, it was El Presador Stuck compilation, or Stuck montage #1. Cause I was in that video, I was cracking up. But, man, when was the second time? I remember there was a second time in my life where I was dying. But no, the first time, there was this kid. So, I'm just out here just going down memory lane. And I don't even know if I told this story. I might have, but I can't remember. I told so many stories on this podcast. But anyways, so in my middle school, we would do, practice, lockdowns and stuff. So we were doing the practice lockdown, and this kid was there, and he was freaking out. Because he thought it was a real lockdown. And they said it on the announcer thing, it's a practice lockdown. And I don't know what had happened, but yeah, the kid, he just was he was losing it. Straight up losing it. And so we get to because we were in one classroom, and then because I think it was the computers were down, or it was more computers in that classroom and things. And so once we were done with that class, then we went to the next class. This kid, no joke, ran from that class all the way to beat all the other kids to the classroom. So we're in the classroom, and we're just kind of talking with each other about the lockdown and things. And he thought it was real. And this girl was teasing them about it. He stood up, started yelling at her, ranting and things. I'm just dying in that classroom. At the time, I was just laughing really hard. But it wasn't until I got home. That's when it had hit me. What happened today. And I started thinking about it. And I'm sitting I think I was watching TV with my mom. She probably thought I was freaking out. She probably thought I was losing my mind or something, because I was laughing so hard. I just fell out. And I was done. My sister, I remember she came in the room to see what I was laughing about. I'm looking at her crying my eyes out. I laughed so hard that I got myself to cry. If you probably would have walked in after the fact that I was laughing, you probably would have thought, you probably thought I was sad about something, because no, I was crying. I was straight up crying. I've never laughed that hard in my life to where I had got myself to cry. I mean, yeah, like tears rolling down your face, that's one thing. No, I was crying. I was full on, like, I can't even, like, really, like, play, like, just the saddest movie that you watched that brought you to tears crying. Like, you were actually, like, boohoo crying, or, like, you done made a black mom upset, now she done whooped you, and you're crying. That was me. It was a whooping cry. That's how I was crying after I was, like, laughing at things. I'm like, man, I've never laughed that hard in my life. I always aim to laugh like that because I'm like, that's why I'm like, certain things like hits me differently. You know, certain things, I know people, they'll probably look at me all like, dang, like I didn't realize it was that funny. But no, certain things hit me differently. But I want to see that laugh. I just want to see what it looks like on another person. And so far, I think I've done it to like one person. Like that was about it. That was this, I remember it was this girl in the classroom. I can't remember what I said or did. But no, I seen it like one time though. That was like one time. I think I was like a sophomore, I think, in high school. And yeah, that girl, she was gone. I was like, dang, I don't even know what I said or did. But I was like, dang, I'm like, that's scary. I'm like, people shouldn't laugh that hard. But she was laughing that hard. I wouldn't say it was as worse than as mine. But no, with hers, it was like, that girl, she was like, she couldn't breathe. She wasn't talking, like she was just laid out on the floor, like in the middle of class too. Like that's how you know like you're funny when you make like, because everybody tries to be like professional and I take that back. Nobody's professional in the classroom, but like at least people don't like try to laugh that hard in a classroom. And I got her to a point where it was like she was laughing hard, and so that's why I'm like, dang, I didn't even realize I had that power. I seriously didn't. I'm like, man, that's what I'm like, when I see people, if I make a person laugh, I'm like, I already know I'm funny. Ain't nobody gotta tell me different or say something like, say I'm not funny. I'm like, I had people crying, laughing so hard at stuff that I ain't said or did and things. And so, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like a walking comedy show and things, because I should go over all the like times I made people laugh. I seriously do. I seriously should do an episode talking about that. I can't even speak English anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna probably play some of this Ghost Recon game. Probably might play Destiny. I might just sit there and just be playing video games, listening to music and stuff. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And as usual, if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, because I know right now there's so many things going on, from music concerts to sports and everything else. So yeah, if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss and it'll knock $20 off your first purchase. So, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.